I just got back from Ireland, and I gotta say, driving in Ireland sucks. So you drive on the left side of the road, which to begin with, just that alone would be enough to make things confusing. Add to that, you're not in a normal vehicle like you know it here in the US. You're in a vehicle that is switched opposite. So you're sitting in the right side of the vehicle with your passengers on your left. The stick shift for manual transmissions is on your left. So if you're right-handed, you're used to shifting with your right hand, driving with your left, shifting with your right, then you're screwed. You have to switch and drive with your left. Now, luckily, the pedals, the clutch, the brake, and the gas pedal are petrol pedal, accelerator. Luckily, the pedals are not reversed, so it still goes from left to right, clutch, brake, accelerator. Um, yeah, I looked that up before I went because I was a little nervous that they were going to be switched too, which would make things absolutely insane. I'm going to adjust this down a little bit. Oh, no, wrong way. How about like that? Oh, there we go. So, yeah, okay, so you've got driving on the left side of the road, which is difficult, makes things difficult. You're sitting in the wrong side of the vehicle with your clutch on the wrong side, which makes things even more difficult. You've got different colored stripes on the road. So on the on the left-hand side of the road and the right-hand side of the road, the edges of the road, if you will, they had sometimes they had a double yellow, sometimes they had nothing at all. So you'd see this double yellow that normally we see in America is the middle of the road. They had it on the complete on one side. So that's confusing. The dashed white line is often used as the middle line in Ireland. So again, from an American perspective, you're looking at this dashed white line and you're thinking, oh, I can change into that line and I can change across into that other lane and I'll be fine because that's just a dashed white line and that just means another lane going in the same direction in America. No, in Ireland, it often means the middle lane. The middle lane. So if you cross into that lane, there is oncoming traffic coming straight at you. So you don't want to do that. What else is difficult? The traffic lights, I noticed one of them, it went yellow to green. So instead of just going yellow to red, it went back to yellow before it went to green. In America, it just goes yellow, then red, then green, then yellow, then red, then green. Anyways, parked cars. People in Ireland park their cars on the sidewalk. That's weird. So you'll be driving along and you'll see a car that's got two wheels up on the curb. You'll see a car that's got both wheels up on the curb, straight up parked, and no tickets. Nobody seems to care. Just blocking the sidewalk. Sometimes they were like, when there was a little bit of space, you'd have the curb down here, and then you'd have sidewalk, and you'd have a little bit of space before the house. Sometimes they'd be up in that space. Strange. We don't park our cars on sidewalks in America. We go to the parking lot. But in Ireland, they don't call them that. They call them car parks. A place for your cars to park. And those places are, number one, few and far between in Ireland. They don't have too many car parks or parking lots. And number two, they're tiny. They're very, very, very small. The car parks are very, very small, which leads me to the final thing that I will say about driving in Ireland that makes it difficult. The Irish drivers, they're cool. They drive slow. They don't honk so much. Nobody seemed to be in a hurry. People would literally stop their engines at stoplights I assume to save gas or something. I don't know, but it was funny because the light would turn green, and then you'd hear people starting their engines around you. So that was interesting. Um, but the most difficult thing about driving in Ireland is the size of their roads. And I don't mean the length, I mean the width. The roads in Ireland are so tiny and narrow, um, that I kind of understand why people park on the sidewalk, because there's no flipping room to park on the side of the road. Uh, there were times where you literally, like, and sometimes driving in Seattle, I know we get up into those suburbs around the city, and sometimes you got to pull over. It's like a one-lane road because there's cars parked on either side of you and room for one in the middle. Ireland would have two lanes there, and they'd have like a middle lane with a divider, and oh, it was a nightmare. The roads were so narrow. I cannot express that enough. Um, just narrow AF. Uh, there were many times where my passenger was freaking out, thinking I was going to hit something. I curbed it a couple times on the left, but it was either that or veer into oncoming traffic on the right. Yeah. Oh, I forgot one thing that sucks about driving in Ireland: roundabouts. If you don't like roundabouts, you're screwed because they're everywhere. They are not big on four-way intersections in Ireland. They have roundabouts everywhere. And the roundabouts, they're just like the ones in America, essentially, except for you're going to the left, not the right. Um, it's weird driving on the left side of the road. I cannot express that enough. It was so foreign to me that it was stressful, and I don't recommend it. Like, despite the fact that a bus would have taken longer, despite the fact that, taxis would have been expensive, I kind of feel like I shouldn't have driven just because it was stressful, and I probably would have seen a lot more if I hadn't driven, honestly. But it was convenient. We drove from Dublin to Belfast, and then from Belfast all the way to Shannon. So I did get to see a good bit of the countryside. We ran into Newgrange that way. Freaking awesome. Um, Driving in Ireland sucks. I can see why some people just choose not to do it. I'm talking to you, blind boy. All right. I just got back from Ireland. My name's Aiden. Blah, blah, blah.